Have you ever felt stuck in a routine, just going through the motions, day after day, thinking, well, this is my life now? That's exactly where we find Moses at the start of this story, living a quiet, simple life, with no idea that everything was about to change. Let's rewind a bit. Moses was born at a dangerous time for his people, the Israelites. They were living as slaves in Egypt under a powerful and fearful king, the Pharaoh. And Pharaoh had ordered that all newborn Hebrew boys be killed. But Moses' mother couldn't bear to let that happen, so she did something brave and desperate. She placed her baby boy in a basket and set it afloat down the Nile River, hoping, praying, that someone would find him and save him, and someone did. Pharaoh's own daughter found the baby in the reeds. She took pity on him and raised him as her own, right inside the palace. So Moses, though born a slave, grew up as royalty, an Israelite by blood, but an Egyptian by lifestyle. Now, fast forward. One day, as a grown man, Moses saw an Egyptian beating an Israelite slave. Filled with anger and a deep sense of justice, Moses stepped in and killed the Egyptian. Word got out. Afraid for his life, Moses ran. He fled Egypt and escaped into the desert. There, in the land of Midian, far from palaces and politics, Moses started over. He got married, started a family, and became a shepherd. For 40 years, he lived in peace, tending sheep, walking dusty trails, and probably thinking his life would never be anything more than this. But God had other plans. One day, Moses was out in the wilderness near a mountain called Horeb. He was doing what he always did, watching over his sheep, when something unusual caught his eye. It was a bush. But not just any bush. This one was on fire. Yet it wasn't burning up. No smoke, no crackling, no ash. Just flames. And the bush remained a strange trick of the desert heat. Then he heard a voice. Moses, Moses. His heart jumped. He answered, "Here I am." And then the voice said, "Do not come any closer. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." Moses stopped, removed his sandals, and suddenly everything changed. This was no ordinary bush, no ordinary fire. This was holy, sacred. The voice continued, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." Moses was terrified. He hid his face, afraid to look toward the burning bush, afraid to face the presence of God. Then God told him why he had come. "I have seen the suffering of my people in Egypt," God said. "I've heard their cries, I know their pain, and I have come down to rescue them, to bring them out of slavery and into a new land, a good and spacious land, flowing with milk and honey." And then came the real shocker. "So now, Moses, I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." Moses froze. Wait. Him. Go back to Egypt. Confront Pharaoh. Lead a nation. It sounded impossible, and Moses said as much. Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? He didn't feel ready. He didn't feel qualified. But God replied, "I will be with you." Still, Moses wasn't convinced. What if they don't believe me? What if they ask who sent me? God answered, "Tell them, I Am has sent me to you." That name, I Am, is powerful. It means God always is. Not just past or future, but present, constant, eternal. Even then, Moses hesitated. "But I've never been good with words," he said. "I'm slow of speech. I stumble when I talk." God answered, "Who gave humans their mouths? Who makes them speak or not speak? Isn't it I, the Lord? Now go. I will help you speak and teach you what to say." But Moses still resisted. "Please, Lord," he begged, "send someone else." God was patient, but firm. He told Moses that his brother Aaron could speak for him. Aaron would be his voice, but Moses would be the one called, the one chosen, the one leading. In that moment, standing barefoot before a burning bush that never burned up, Moses had a choice. He could stay in the wilderness, living a safe, quiet life. Or he could say yes to a calling that would take him into danger, into doubt, into leadership, and into history. He said yes. That yes would set the stage for one of the most powerful stories in the Bible, the exodus of the Israelites, the crossing of the Red Sea, and the birth of a new nation. But it all began here, with a bush that burned without burning out, and a voice that said, "I have seen, I have heard, I have come, and I am sending you." This story isn't just about Moses, it's about all of us. Because sometimes we feel like Moses did. Unqualified, unprepared, unworthy. But what if your ordinary moment, your quiet, everyday life, was interrupted by something extraordinary? What if you heard a calling, a purpose, a tug in your heart that you couldn't ignore? And what if you remembered that God doesn't call the ready? He makes ready those he calls. Moses didn't think he had what it took, but God promised, "I will be with you." That promise is still true today, so maybe the next time life feels routine or aimless, look a little closer. There just might be a burning bush in your path,